Original poster is close to divorce. He has been tortured for about a year, lied to, deceived, and manipulated the entire 12-month period. He did the pick him dance for almost the entire time. He has been emotionally abused. He is a shell of his former self. He is 40 pounds lighter than he was a year ago. He went pain shopping this week and found out his soon-to-be ex-wayward wife never stopped communicating with AP the entire time. This includes time spent in marriage counseling. He has finally gone gray rock. Soon-to-be ex-wayward wife now claims that he is the bad guy because of the hostile environment he has created by going gray rock. It is absolutely maddening. He has also heard her apologize to other people for the toxic environment that he created. Get it? The toxic environment that he created. He was stabbed in the back in the worst possible way, and him trying to pull the knife out and spraying blood everywhere is the real problem. To add insult to injury, when he was pain shopping, he saw that his soon-to-be ex-wayward wife told one of her friends that he told soon-to-be ex-wayward wife he will destroy her. He never said that and never will. It's like saying, do you know who he is? He just would never say something like that. He is the type of person who sees things very black and white legally. If anything, he would have said he is taking everything he is entitled to under Connecticut's divorce laws. Very simple and true, but he will destroy you. Come on, man. She continues to play the victim. It's driving him crazy. He is going to lose it. Good news, his final divorce date looks like May 18th, and closing on the new house is May 27th. 13 months later, he will finally be out of infidelity. Reader comment: stop looking. You already know what that phone contains. Evidence of her continuing betrayal. Whether it's continued contact with her AP or lying about you to her friends, you have set your path. Is there anything you could find on that phone that would change it? If she started extolling your virtues to anyone who would listen or made contact with 5 new APs, what would change? In a few weeks, the divorce will be final, and you'll be out of the house. So stop giving that goddamn phone power over your life. Oh, and once it is final, feel free to send some of her best hits to her friends and their husbands. Let them know what her views on fidelity have twisted into. See if they want to risk it rubbing off on their marriages. Original poster: NC is his friend. God help him. She's texting him. Will you take his call? No, he will not take your call. The pain shopping came from her being so sugary sweet to him lately. It's hard to resist. He is like a beaten dog that still wags its tail when its abuser gets home. What is wrong with him? It worked though. Those discoveries definitely strengthened his resolve to stay NC in hard gray rock no matter how sweet she appears to be. So, he knows how you feel in regard to staying friendly. It's hard. The person you love and trusted most in the world is actually being nice. It's hard not to capitulate to that. He has a big mouth when it comes to this for some reason, so he has told anyone who will listen. Thank you. He sees you guys here and your advice and support are invaluable, not only on his threads, but he sees you on others. He is glad you guys are here. It's nice to put a brain dump on here now and then and have a bunch of internet strangers lift his spirits. You have no idea how much it helps him to come here and vent and get support. About 14 days to divorce and about 21 days to physical separation. 21 days. Just 21 days to go. For some reason, this seems to be among the hardest times for him. He is getting similar anxiety that he had around D-Day. He has lost any weight that he gained back since last May. Stay with him. Reader comment: the trash talking the spouse to the AP about what happened in marital counseling seems to be another play in the dirty cheater book. I enrolled in a program offered for free from my health insurance company designed to help me people learn coping skills. During my evaluation, the therapist introduced me to a book, Concept of Emotional RAPE. I finally had a name for what had happened to me. I am so sorry you found out about the contact your wayward wife had with AP during the time you were going to counseling. I had always said that the infidelity felt like me being RAPED with people watching and cheering him on. Stand tall. Get support. No, you are not alone. Original poster: he has to comment on the bitter BS. He would like someone to explain to him the proper response to being stabbed in the back in the worst possible way, because clearly they are all doing it wrong. He always liked this analogy. It's like the WS literally stabbed you in the back and you are bleeding all over the floor and the WS yells, "Hey, can you stop bleeding all over the floor? You're making a F mess." So, he gets a text from soon-to-be ex-wayward wife today. At this stage of things, with all that has been said and done, all the mutual hurt, money spent, and emotional damage, is it even possible to turn things around and recreate our marriage? She wants to talk to him tomorrow. She's been exposed to her daughters now and is in full-blown panic mode. Sucks when unicorn fart land has to end. He swears they follow some kind of rule book or went to cheater school for this SHT. He spent a year begging her not to do this. Now he have a house closing on the 27th. He is literally 3 weeks from moving out. And she's been exposed to her daughters right in front of her face. Now she is sincere, all right, sincerely trying to cover her ass. He can't do it. She will always be friends with benefits with AP. Always. What's stopping her? AP had a girlfriend at the time. Wayward was married. That didn't stop them. What's going to stop them next time? And the last time they had physical affair was 4/16. Just 3 weeks ago. He is now 1 year from D-Day and now she wants to talk. She's crazy. He would have given anything to hear this 6 months ago. He managed to avoid her today. He doesn't think he will be able to do the same tomorrow. She's gonna want to have the can they save this marriage discussion. She asked him 10 times what he was doing today. He managed to have something to do all day and now he is working his part-time job until midnight. She already asked him what he is doing tomorrow. She wants to have the talk. He will listen to her, but his response is going to be you will always be friends with benefits with AP. Always. He cannot live like that. Only 18 days to go. He never thought his soon-to-be ex-wayward wife was capable of this. He has some serious questions to ask. What is it with WSs in general? Do they not realize that they are playing the safe game? He will dabble on the side because he always has the safe space to fall back on. Do they not realize they are doing this? Is it a conscious decision? Or is it a subconscious thing and they don't even realize they are doing it? It's clear in his case. The safety is gone, and he can literally see and feel the panic in his soon-to-be ex-wayward wife. Does she not realize that she played the safe game for too long and now the safe place is gone? He is not going for it. Trust him. His new house is purchased. Closing is scheduled. Deposits are made. The home inspection is complete. Appraisal next week. Mortgage is locked. Movers are booked. Insurance is paid. Lawyers are hired. Everything is done. There is no going back. He can't avoid it. She's going to force the conversation on him. They still live in the same house. It's hard to avoid. He has no interest in staying with someone who is so distrustful. She doesn't know that he figured out the password to her phone. She still contacts him, as recently as Thursday night, but she wants to talk about how they can salvage their marriage. Good God, does this woman hear herself talk? One of the issues he is having is that the divorce is not final yet. He is trying to play nice right now. There are a couple of issues she can push for in the divorce but hasn't. Like when he was going to keep the house, he pushed for estimates of work for fixes that need completing so he could deduct it from the equity he owed her. Now she is keeping the house and she has not pushed that. If she does, he would just ask for a second appraisal. Real estate is that hot. Just a month from the first appraisal and he would bet the number would go up. He feels like he is in a difficult position to ignore her, but don't piss her off too much. Trying to keep up a happy-go-lucky attitude. Not sure it's worth it. Just have to make it another 17 days. Just as an aside, when they started the divorce process, he told her, their retirement accounts are about equal. Just tell your attorney to ignore the retirement accounts. Saves time and legal expenses. She said this. That's not fair. Turns out she owes him money from her retirement. She works for the government and has a good pension. Karma is a BTCH. He thinks below is his best bet. Hard for him to keep his mouth shut, but he is just going to smile and say it's too little too late. Not arguing his righteousness is the hardest part for him. What she did is so wrong, and she still blames him, even after a year of her cheating. And arguing his righteousness is usually when he ends up in a rabbit hole. Reader comment. Don't get into any argument about the essence of the matter. Don't even argue your righteousness. Just say you don't want to hear any of her words. You don't need to say what you know. It is enough for you to know that her continues. There is nothing to argue about this. Original poster. She's been seeing this guy for a year. And somehow, she blames OP that she had to go have physical affair with him on 4/16/2021. After starting an E1 year ago. It's still his fault. The wayward mind is fascinating. Reader comment. She's projecting her dysfunction onto you, or it's more gaslighting. She's still getting supply from you, so keep gray rocking. Don't defend, engage, explain, personalize. You're getting close to being out, so keep the next goal in sight. ATA, remember, she isn't listening to you, and she doesn't care. Original poster. OP has no idea what he is blamed for at the moment. In the beginning it was everything. She complained that he didn't do enough. He wasn't affectionate enough. He didn't support her enough with the kids. It didn't feel like they were a team. He didn't do. He didn't say. He wasn't enough. Stay with him. These are hard times. He doesn't understand why he feel worse now than he did on D-Day. He is avoiding her at the moment. He is literally sitting in the middle of a forest with his dog just sitting here and staring. They end up having a good long walk. She mentioned buying a car for his 16-year-old. What if money are they going to use to buy a car? They just spent $20K on divorce attorneys. He just had to put a giant down payment on a house to avoid PMI. He will have to take money from his heir to pay all the closing costs. He must furnish half a house. He doesn't even have a bed to sleep in when he moves yet. and she's talking about a car for his daughter. He won't know what his cash flow looks like until he spends a few months in the new house paying for things on his own. He doesn't think it's too much to ask to wait a couple of months so he can see what his cash flow is like. Is it? Cash flow on paper looks good, but who the F knows? He will probably go price a bed for him. Maybe bedroom sets for the girls later today. She's going to have to let him take one from the house, or she'll have to buy one bedroom set for one of his daughters. He might have to piece something together from yard sales. This really sucks. His mind is not right. It's been a effing year and his mind is still not right. He pulled his phone out of his pocket twice today to see what time it's war. He put the phone back in his pocket and would not be able to tell you the time. He is losing it. Everything is okay. Just okay. He guesses. He doesn't know. Not sure how to tell you guys this. He has been honest here. His story is real. He is not putting you on. He is not pulling your leg. He knows he have not followed some sound advice. You're not wrong. He is doing his best. He hopes you won't leave his side. Soon-to-be ex-wayward wife wanted to talk to him about recreating their marriage. She asked if he wanted to try conciliation and a post-nup agreement. That's what she wanted to talk about. Essentially, the divorce decree would be written and agreed to. No court battles, equitable division of assets that are basically already agreed to. He would buy the new house. Current house will be moved to her name only, all property legally divided. And they would stay married, work on their marriage. He has no idea what that looks like in practice, but he might find out. He doesn't know what to do. He still loves her. Why? He doesn't know. He is still smoking opium. He is still buying the new house. That's not stopping. Not sure he can back out at this point anyway. Closing in 2 weeks. Reconciliation would include counseling. She admits that all contact with AP would have to stop and has given assurances that the instruction to AP was provided to stop contacting her. He did not witness it and he was not shown the communication. She's searching for a counselor for them. The last marriage counseling was such a disaster. He is terrified. It's a weird situation and he is sure many of you think he is crazy. He doesn't know if he can do it. He feels like she's doing that thing again where she mopes around because he just forced her to break up with her boyfriend. Again, they have been intimate. HB. He is going to try it. The divorce agreement will essentially be final. He now has a place to go immediately if things go bad. He gets excited when she tells him she wants to work things out. Then reality sets in. He doesn't think he can do it. Then he thinks maybe it can work. Then he thinks he can't do it. Then, he has done this dance before, many times. He feels like he is going to do the dance one more time and see what happens. The divorce will be done. The living arrangements will be done. If it doesn't work, he can just step away immediately and with very little effort. In 2 weeks, he can just step away regardless of what happens. The new house will be his. He has no idea what he is doing. He is 1 year from D-Day, but probably more importantly, he is just weeks from her last encounter with AP. 8 to 10 months ago, he would have welcomed this opportunity with open arms. Now, he is open to your feedback. Let him have it. He guesses he was more concerned about living arrangements than the divorce. He rather has a place to stay and not be divorced, as opposed to divorced and no place to stay. The house settles that. He can just move out. Not much difference so far. And yes, he has to admit the little guy is doing too much thinking. He does still like her. It's nice when they are together. He feels good when he is with her. What is she doing different this time? It remains to be seen and he don't know yet if his needs will be met. A year of history should tell him probably not. He sees your points on the legal issues. He will ask his attorney about how the agreements work. Neither of them wants to go through the motions again. They are in agreement there. She said she does not want to have to do the document production again, etc., and neither do he. He will ask about how that works. He agrees that he don't want to be in a bad position a month from now. Heavy lifting. She's making the arrangements. Researching a marriage counseling. Not much more than that. They have been to 2 marriage counselors. He knows it's not a good idea. He believes it's part of the conciliation process. He is not hopeful, but at least he knows now what to look for. He is not going to stand for any extramarital kind of nonsense. He will ask why she wants to do this and what is different this time. He deserves answers to those questions. Problem is he have always been a rug sweeper. He will do better this time, and she has not necessarily acknowledged the damage she has done or the work that still needs to be done. His thought was to bring that up during marriage counseling. He doesn't disagree with you on the Powerball odds. He just feels like he doesn't have much to lose at this point. If it doesn't work, he just walks out. The living arrangements were his biggest worry until now. He was desperate for a place to stay. Now he has it. You guys are giving him advice that he would give anyone else in his situation. DRS. Make the worst patience. It sounds so good when soon-to-be ex-wayward wife says it. Let's rebuild their marriage. He gets a sense of relief that finally he may get his family back. Finally he can go back to living the old life. That sense of relief is fleeting. Then reality sets in. He has seen this movie before. The house deal is done. He is moving forward and plan to move out. He is seeing what happens from there. He doesn't know about the conciliation process. He has not spoken to his attorney, yet he sent her a 3-sentence email, and she charged him like $50 to read it. He is afraid to call or email. He just keep getting more charges. Soon to be ex-wayward wife was exposed in a big way to her children right in front of her face. She said early on that she didn't want to disappoint her daughters. Now the guilt and shame are setting in and she is grasping at straws. It still makes him wonder. Is she doing this to be able to say she tried and see they just don't get along anymore. It's not because he cheated. It's because they are just no longer compatible. The more he thinks about this, the more he feels he need to get out. Is that the wife he wants? Someone who is now clinging because she was exposed? No, his head knows he wants and deserves someone who loves him. This is a very sick relationship. And the counseling. He knows you are right about I see. She doesn't see the path of destruction she left behind her. She doesn't see the hurt. She doesn't look at a P and see a co-conspirator in that destruction and hurt. She likely still pines for him. He knows he can't live like this. It's his head and heart battling again. The last marriage counseling was a disaster. For him it would be just going through the motions. He certainly would not even justify the counselor's existence if she started rug sweeping. He would walk out. He still doesn't know if he will even get to that point. He doesn't want to live in limbo. Or he believes there is a reference here to the lethal plane of flatness. He doesn't want to be there either. He sees folks posting on here 10 years after D-Day saying how miserable they are. He doesn't want that. He wants to be happy. It's been a effing year of misery. He wants to be happy again. Your advice as usual is sound, irrefutable. Stay tuned. He has a court date next week. It's an important one. A decision on conciliation must be made before then. Closing is the following week. Just ordered some furniture for delivery. Movers are still scheduled for the first week of June. He is still here. He does read all of your posts. He started a part-time job and on Fridays he works basically 7 a.m. till midnight, so could not respond to all. He spoke with his attorney. He agreed. A motion for conciliation will be filed. He regrets it already. He got hovered in. He doesn't really see it coming. An offer of getting back to his old life is made and he jump at it. It feels good for a split second. Then reality sets in. He read the comments here and realize what's missing. It's all about her. At this point her daughters know she is cheating. He believes now and all along she just did not want to be the bad guy in filing for divorce. Now she doesn't want him to be able to say that they divorced because she was cheating. It's because they tried and see. They are really not compatible. He doesn't dispute anything you guys are saying here. You're right. He is the worst kind of rug sweeper there is. He avoids confrontations like the plague. And he did it again. The conciliation at worst just postpones the divorce for 3 months. He has the new house. He can escape at any given moment. Getting away physically was his bigger concern. He wants to tell her that he needs more this time, like a lot more. He wants to believe she can do those things. He wants her to do those things, but he can't force her, and there's the issue he should be getting. He can't force her to love him. When he thinks about it, there's just no way she can do all of those things. Reality sets in again. He never really thought she was a narc, but the reaction she has every time he withdraws is obvious. He thought it was always one of those things where one spouse leans back, the other leans in. Based on the comments above, he thinks it's more than that. She really is a narc. He hopes you will keep posting. He does value your feedback even if he is not good at implementing. You are experts at this. He will keep posting to update. He keeps thinking he have one of those special unicorns, but she keeps turning into a jackass. He asked her last Monday, when does communication with AP actually stop this time? I need you to contact him and clearly state that it is over and tell him not to contact you. She said, I will tell him today or tomorrow, meaning last Monday or Tuesday. As of yesterday, she was still communicating with him. Her response when confronted is, I just hasn't gotten around to calling him yet. I want to call him to tell him. Divorce is back on. Who does that? She actually used the term recreate our marriage 10 days ago, then continued to communicate with him the entire time. Another blows out this morning. He gets the I am sorry it didn't happen on your timeline. Not everything happens on his timeline. His timeline. His timeline. It's been 7 days and she couldn't find 5 minutes to call him. His heart needs to finally accept that he meant so little to her, and he was such a low priority that she could not find 5 minutes to break it off with him. Back to hurting badly. He knows he does it to himself. Closing on the new house is next week. He may actually be able to afford a hotel room now to get him to that date. He needs to get away from her. He is absolutely crushed again that she would offer to file a motion for conciliation, arrange for a marriage counselor, all while maintaining contact with AP. Good God, what happened to his wife? At this point it terrifies him that this is the mother of his children. He hopes his daughters don't grow up to be like her. Reader comment. Responding to your comment on but I can't force her and there's the issue I should be getting. I can't force her to love me. Love is a non-issue. You can't force her to replace who she is. A person who abuses you and will probably abuse other partners in the future. A person incapable of love as you know it. Having her form of love, if she suddenly offered it, would continue to be damaging. Is there a way to reverse that 3-month stay? Original poster. The 3-month thing would have been decided this week. They have a court date this week. Last week the thought was to file a motion for conciliation. Now that will not happen. The court appearance this week will just be to provide an update on status. Then perhaps the next court date will be the final divorce. If they did the motion for conciliation, it would just push everything out 3 months. He is not doing that anymore. Just to clarify, his court date is this week. At that point, in front of the judge they would have to both agree to file a motion for conciliation. He expects this will not happen and it will be divorce as planned. The court wants an update. He assumes the attorneys will say divorce is on track and separation agreement is being written. So, there is no stay at the moment. Normal course of the divorce process is happening as of now. No further delay. Not sure why it takes this long. He filed in December, and they are still not divorced. She booked a marriage counseling appointment for next Wednesday, so she did more than look. Problem is right after she booked the appointment, she probably contacted AP to see how his day was going. You're not wrong. The last marriage counselor actually said, she seems to enjoy hurting you. Opus admits he is like a beaten dog who still wags its tail when its abuser gets home. He is just praying for next Wednesday to get here. That is the day of closing on his new house. He will finally have a place to escape to. All of you are spot on. Reader comment. The last marriage counselor actually said, she seems to enjoy hurting you. The problem here is not your wayward wife, but you. You are letting her hurt you. It is almost like you enjoy being hurt by her. Original poster. He thinks she would have done the same for him. He just broke up with his boyfriend routine and then he gets the brunt of it because he caused it and therefore he has to suffer more misery. The house was recently appraised for the bank. When he got a copy of the pictures and it showed an empty house. So the new house is vacant at the moment. He has a cot that he will take to the empty house next Wednesday and use that until the movers come the following week. At least he can get out of IHS. The counselor said that to him personally when she was not present. He doesn't necessarily enjoy being hurt by her. He just remembers the good times they had. Until now the good always outweighed the bad. Now it's just bad. Here's one for you guys. He liked to get your take on this. Last night he told his daughters that soon-to-be ex-wayward wife, and he tried to work things out. But your mother keeps contacting her boyfriend. He told them that he can't take it anymore and that the new house closing is next week, and he will be moving out of S.A.P. This is no longer his home. He told them they would tour the new house later this week so they could think about how they want their bedrooms. And that a mover will be there the first week of June to move a bunch of furniture out. Soon-to-be ex-wayward wife was at the gym. He sent her a text that said ... He let their daughters know that they tried to work things out, but you refused to stop contacting AP. He let them know that he will be moving out next week. They know that a moving truck will be here the following week to remove a bunch of furniture. Her response, I am sorry to hear this for several reasons. I was having his conversation with AP when you were saying these things to our daughters. It is not appropriate for you to share many of the things you have shared with them. You know this, and you told your attorney that you wanted to do reconciliation, and then you do this. 1. If he had just waited another 5 minutes, she would have given him everything he had been begging for over the past year. 2. It's not appropriate to disparage their mother in front of them. He knows that. Telling them the truth of what happened to their family is not disparaging their mother. Saying your mother is a effing WHORE and he is divorcing her because she is such a SLUT while justified would be disparaging their mother in front of them. Saying he cannot remain married to your mother while she has a boyfriend is not disparaging. It's the blunt, honest truth of the matter. 3. He agreed to reconciliation. Yes. Then she continued to contact AP. The unmitigated gall. Reader comment. All that's left is the signing on the dotted line. Original poster. Pretty much. Not sure why it takes the attorneys so long to reduce the deal to writing. Honestly, he could write it himself. He have seen lots of divorce decrees. It's not rocket science for a simple situation like his. Crap, he forgot to ask his attorney about the life insurance. Reader comment. She should be the one begging for R. Original poster. She actually said to him at one time, don't expect me to come crawling to you for forgiveness or something like that. She just does not see the path of destruction she left behind. Reader comment, the physical distance should help a lot. Original poster, he just got word from the mortgage company that he is clear to close. Every time he gets a step closer to getting out, the sense of relief gets better. The weight is lifting. Final walkthrough is scheduled, and closing is scheduled for next week. This 0 is 0 fine. He hears you. He has to be careful of written communication. Duly noted. Reader comment, this is no longer just a matter of cheating. This is a 1-year abuse process. At least. Actually, I don't think it started with the discovery of her original poster. He knows. Assume she stopped cheating. Can he live with the person that did what she did for a year? A year of lying and deception, the depth and breadth of which is astounding. How can someone lie so much and for so long and still look at themselves as the victim? At what point does one get tired of lying and deceiving? It must be exhausting. He wonders a lot about when the abuse started. It's so hard to say. She used to do a lot for him. She used to do lots of things to show love and affection. Then it stopped. He can't pinpoint when that change occurred. He can't remember anymore when they had good times. He can't remember what it was like to be in an open, honest marriage. Reader comment, so we're your logical, objective side. Original poster, it's like buying a car. You really should have someone negotiate for you to take the emotion out of it. He has often thought that he wishes he had some of you guys standing next to him on D-Day and during some of the discussions shortly after that day. Reader comment, you think you want her and her to stop cheating will be enough for you, but what you really want is for the last year to have not happened. You cannot have that, and in the not too distant future you will realize that, and it won't be enough just for her to stop cheating. Original poster, one of the things they talk about in cheating in a nutshell is that by moving on with a cheater, you are asking your body to go against its own defense mechanism. He believes jealousy is instinctual, millions of years of instinct, a cousin of fight or flight or just part of the fight or flight response. It's there for a reason, to protect yourself. That's not easy to overcome if at all. Would he ever be able to be comfortable around her again? He doesn't know. He has heard it said on here and elsewhere, something like he who cares least wins. That is such a sick game humans play on each other. He doesn't get it and he don't like it. 2D. The mental gymnastics is fascinating to witness. Troubling, disgusting, incomprehensible, but fascinating nonetheless. And he agrees completely on your second point. You are spot on. It's amazing the response when he finally stands up for himself. Oh, you're so angry, Anna, you're scaring him. But yes, always cleared things through his attorney. Both attorneys are aware, and she is refinancing the marital home to her name only and he is purchasing in his name only. He supposes it's just a handshake agreement between attorneys, although they do have signed and notarized statements that spell this out because the mortgage companies wanted to see that they each won't be responsible for the other's property. FWIW, his conversation with his kids was more like soon-to-be ex-wayward wife will not stop communicating with. He can't live like this anymore and will be moving out next week. His closing is on the 26th and a moving truck will be here the following week. Please read here. Also, his soon-to-be ex-wayward wife decided a few months ago to tell his daughters on her own, without him present, that she had an affair. Had an affair. Then she continued the affair. She already told his kids about the affair, without him present. WTF. Now is he going to move out and have his children believe that their mother had an affair like it's ancient history, and he is leaving because he can't get over it? Allow soon-to-be ex-wayward wife to spin the tale that they are just not compatible anymore. That mom and dad just don't get along anymore. F no, she was having an active affair when she told them she had an affair. And then continued the affair. She lied right to their face. In fact, she had contact with him up until this week, like this week just 2 days ago. Had an affair. She had an affair. Think about that. Sounds good, doesn't it? I had an affair, but you know ... that's just part of his past that he has to own now. No big deal. Your father just can't get over it. He's so angry and irrational. Thanks for the reference. He mentions in one of his videos something like don't wrestle with a pig. You get dirty, and the pig likes it. He liked that. It just reinforces what everyone here says a lot. No contact. You don't get dirty if you stay no contact. He sees a little clearer now because of those videos. Reader comment, in that regard, what are your plans for the new house? Have you spent any time thinking about that? Now might be a good time to start visualizing your life in the new house. Will you sit on the front porch and have a beer at the end of the day? Will you put in a garden? Will you decorate a game room with your alma mater colors, bobbleheads, etc.? What was something you always wanted to collect but never did because she wasn't on board? Now would be a good time to regain you. Original poster, very simple, a cheap plastic Adirondack chair and one of those fire pits. He looks forward to sitting in the yard next to a fire and just relax. He actually might put in a garden, and that is one of those things she didn't want to do that he would like to try. He also hopes his daughters will be excited to do what they want in their own space. Reader comment, you just need to keep heading in the same direction and not get sucked back in. Original poster, just a few more days. Less than a week now. The end of IHS is in sight. Reader comment, what else? Original poster, he is starting a savings account for a Mustang. He wants a convertible Mustang Cobra, or one of those GT 500s. But seriously, other than that very simple stuff, he will figure it out as he goes along. Reader comment, volunteer. Original poster, oh yeah. He has a black lab. The guy is the most gentle, docile male black labs you will ever meet. The guy's 3 years old and has a very good temperament. He knows many people say that about their dogs, but this kid is one of a kind special. He doesn't jump, he never chewed a shoe, never got into the trash, listens very well, etc. He is thinking about signing him up for one of those pet therapy things where they visit hospitals and nursing homes. Thanks. Closing is at 11 a.m. today. He thought he would be a little sadder yesterday, and last night knowing it would be the last night in the house he has called home for the past 20 years. It's where they raise their kids, memories, etc. He held out hope up until today, still thinking perhaps today would be the day that his wife would finally say she loves him, and everything will be okay. Sorry, no Hollywood ending for you DJK, but it wasn't too bad, no tears shed. He is looking forward to the closing and starting to move forward and healing from this nightmare. He always appreciates the support he receives here and especially the private messages. The advice here is light years ahead of anything one would receive at marriage counseling. He knows most here say to wait a while before dating again. He will wait as long as he can, but he really misses having a loving companion in his life. He misses it terribly. He will perhaps start a new thread when divorce finally comes and the final nail in the coffin is done. You folks are the best. Yes, he is having trouble putting down the opium pipe. He liked being married. He was proud to be married. But he moved yesterday, spent the night in the new house. Unfortunately, he ruptured his bicep tendon moving stuff. Now he is excited to do things but can't do much because